Trenton, Ontario, Quinte West. What's the difference? If you're not sure, you've come to the right place. Today we're going to do a map tour video. So for all those that don't really know this area very well, they may know Belleville, which is the neighboring city, but you don't know Trenton. But when you're driving down the 401, you always see these signs for Quinte West and Trenton. Today we're going to answer those questions, give you a good idea of what's going on in this area, the little communities that surround Trenton, and Quinte West as a whole. So hopefully you'll be more well informed at the end of this video. Let's get to it. My name is Jeremy Tremblay. I'm a local realtor in the Belleville and surrounding areas. If you are thinking of moving to this area, I would love to chat. You can reach out. My phone number will be up on the screen. My email is down below in the description. Reach out. Let's talk. Also, I will be making more videos talking about Belleville and all these surrounding communities that are really growing. Definitely hit that subscribe button, the little notification bell, and that way you'll know when new videos come up and you can continue to learn about this area, and hopefully you can draw you here to be part of our community. Let's get going. So as we look here on the computer, we are in Google Maps and we're just kind of break this down. So first off, I brought up Quinte West. I noted at the start of this video that oftentimes you see signs for Quinte West, you hear reference to Trenton. Oftentimes when people are asked, well, where are you from? And they're not from around here, people will say, well, I live in Trenton, and they might even throw in, well, Belleville area, because that's a little bit more well known. But as you look at this map here, you can see Quinte West is this whole area. Belleville, which I have another video talking about Belleville as a whole and doing this a map tour as well, so you can check that out, is right here. You've got the 401 that connects the two. You also have Highway 2 that goes right along the bottom here that also connects it. And you also really have Hamilton Road that some people like to use as well. And Quinte West is the name of this whole highlighted area. That is the one municipality, the one city of Quinte West. Where it's confusing is often people will say Trenton. Well, why do they say that? Let me zoom in here. There is Trenton, this city. Quinte West population is about 43,000 and growing. Trenton makes up half of that population. So that's why people often refer to it as the city. Just technically, what happened here was in 1998, there was an amalgamation of a number of different townships, and they all amalgamated into what is now known as Quinte West. Some of the cities, if you want to look around here, that I wouldn't even call them cities, they're more so towns in Quinte West. So above the 401, you kind of go up here and you'll run into Battawa, which we'll do a video on that. It's got its own ski hill in Battawa. And then Frankford, which is it's a really nice area. It is growing, there is building happening there. Actually, both Frankford and Battawa, they're both growing because of their proximity into Trenton. And down below here, you also have Carrying Place. Anybody that has driven here from Toronto or any which direction on the 401 aiming to go to the county, they will have likely gone down this road right here, Highway 40, and then they would have hit Carrying Place. So now you know you were driving through Quinte West. Even if you didn't go right into the city of Trenton, you would have been driving through Quinte West to get down to the county. Those are little areas. The city is broken down as a whole. You can see here the Trent River. It's the Trent River that divides it, and then the Bay of Quinte that it all kind of is stretched out along. We'll talk about Trenton, which is the main area here. Trenton, if you've never been here before, and I zoom in, Canadian Forces Base Trenton. That is really the reason Trenton was here initially. It is Canada's largest Air Force base. You can see it's right over here on the east side of the city, right along Highway 2. So if you love aviation, this is a place to be. You can come down, there's RCAF Road right here and Highway 2, and then you can just sit there and you can watch the planes go from right across the street. We've got the soccer fields, baseball fields right here. The planes are taking off right overhead. There's actually the National Air Force Museum as well, which is, if you do come, I would highly recommend going to check it out because there's a lot of history there and they do a fantastic job. You can't miss it because as you're driving along, you just see a field full of aircraft. And they've got them so you can go and tour outside with all these aircraft. So that's pretty fun if you're coming to stop in and taking a look. But from there, the city has kind of grown. So you had the Air Force Base. In terms of housing, this area here, it's called the PMQs. That's the military housing. And then you had some more housing over here on the east side of the river. And so you have more established type of communities that have been there for a while. If you go a little bit more north towards the Highway 401, you're going to have some new builds happening here. So in this area, you're going to have neighborhoods that are around 20 years old, 20 to 30 years old. And then you've got some even newer builds up above here. There's a lot going on right here. This is kind of the main exit here in Trenton. This is where you've got 2 hotels. All these fast food options have popped up here. The McDonald's was there, the Tim Hortons, but now you've got everything there. It's got Starbucks, burger joints, it's got the YMCA, and actually on this other side, they're building a whole tourist attraction. And so the Homestead Marketplace, you'll see it when you're on the highway, and it's pretty exciting as well. It's not finished yet. When it is, we'll take a look at that. But this is kind of a big draw. So people are coming through. This is a great stop for them because it has everything they need in this one area. But it is separated from the housing. And so as we zoom out, that's what makes up the east side. And then, as we mentioned, you've got the Trent River, the 401, and there are 2 bridges that go across this river. And this is something to be aware of. So if you're working on this side of the city, especially with the military, and you live over here, very little traffic. You're to and from work within a matter of minutes. But as you can see, if you want to get to this side of town, you are having to cross the bridge, or go to the 401 to cross. And so it can get a little bit congested at times. That's something you want to be aware of, really kind of the end of the workday, because you've got the schools getting out, you get the military that kind of ends at a certain time. And most of the building in Trenton is happening on this west side. You've got the established areas. So right downtown, this street right here, I mentioned Highway 2 that goes along the water. Well, it's Dundas Street. So east side and west side. This is really the downtown core right down here. You come over that bridge, you're right with all the downtown shops right here. And then you continue through. These are established older neighborhoods. You're going to see some of the older homes. And then as you continue along, this is where all the expansion has been happening. And if I were to switch it here so you have the satellite view, you can see that. You can see kind of the grid of the older neighborhoods. And then right here, clearly, this is where you've got a bunch of building happening. So these homes, the newer subdivision, just continued to expand. This whole area is being filled in right here. And then over here, they're continuing to fill in right here. And we expect that to continue. And then from there, you've got Highway 2 and you've got north of that. And you'll see, notice here, Walmart. Walmart used to be the outskirt. So you had the city in here and then Walmart was built all the way over here, kind of the outskirts of town. Well, it kind of has a way about it because the whole city is slowly shifting in this direction. And so this street is becoming the busy street in terms of commercial, and they are continuing to build up newer developments over here. The city is planning it so that the schools are kind of right central to this area of town, and then you've got the new build areas over here. A little bit more north, you've got more new builds over here, and then you continue going north and you have new build areas over here. So from that you can see it is expanding. And the reason it is expanding is, of course, let me zoom out. You can see right there where we are along the 401. here you've got Toronto, you've got the Greater Toronto area out here, Oshawa. If I were to even just put in the directions for Oshawa, Ontario, because there are people that are basically doing the commute and wondering, well, where can they afford a home? Well, there it is. You've got Trenton, Quinte West to Oshawa, and it'll take you an hour to get there. It's that much closer. Belleville is kind of the main city. Like I said, that one there is, the population is double what we have over in Trenton, or I'd say triple really of Trenton. And it's about 10-15 minutes further along the highway. So a lot of people are looking to the Trenton Quinte West area because of that little bit closer proximity to the GTA. And so that's a big driving factor. And of course, housing prices, which you can get a brand new single standalone home for here, is just not attainable over towards Oshawa. And so that's one of the big reasons. I'm seeing it personally. I live in Trenton, and then along a few of these roads, you can see the new builds that are happening. And it's a lot that people don't even know about yet. There's the ones that are really obvious. I was noticing there are a few as you come along here. You can drive into this area. It's kind of an older part of Trenton. All these homes are on well and septic. Even though they're right here by the city, still on well and septic. There's a new neighborhood over here. This is the 401. Well, this bush right here, if you go in here, it's been clear cut, this whole area. And there is likely going to be a road going in right here and a whole new neighborhood happening right there as well. You go along this street, and I can just point out that there's this new build neighborhood. There are some new builds that happened over here. And then over here, there's also a full neighborhood going in here with a couple hundred homes. And that is supposed to expand into this area over here. So there are a lot of plans for future expansion in this area. And the reason being is that you can get into those communities, which they're fantastic homes, well-built homes, single family. The majority of them are bungalows, so they can have single floor living. And you can get into those homes in the 700,000 range, which is, like I said, not attainable in the GTA area. And many people, because of the proximity to the 401, they can live in these homes anywhere within this city. And basically within 5 minutes, they can jump onto the 401 and drive wherever they want to get to. And of course, the other thing that people love about living in this area is Prince Edward County, great tourist area, and the proximity. When you're over here, you just drive down through Carrying Place. There's a little spot right here where you come across this bridge and you just drive down, and you can take advantage and you can stop at the different beaches. You can go all the way down to the Sandbanks Provincial Park. There's the North Beach area, or you can go over here and you can go to Presqu'Île Provincial Park. And these are all long, sandy beaches. And we take advantage of it. Myself, my family, we live in Quinte West. And during the week, when all the tourists are gone after the weekend, that's when we head down to the beach and we take advantage of it and enjoy. And it's fantastic. We know that we can take a 20-minute drive and really hit up any of these beaches and not run into any traffic at all. So it's a fantastic place to live. Couldn't say much more about it. We're going to talk about the little communities a little bit more in some other videos if you're more curious about those. But as I said, if after looking at this map tour, you have any other questions, it's kind of piqued your interest a little bit, feel free. Give me a call. My number's up there. Send me an email. Just say you had some questions. I'd love to talk about it, kind of give you a little bit more information on it. And if you are looking to move here, I can definitely guide you to the different areas that you might want to be in. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe. Till next time.